Today's lesson is Workplace and Apprenticeship 30.3 Trigonometry. We're going to start off by looking at some of the trig functions we do know, the sine, cosine, and tan functions. Sine is the opposite over hypotenuse. So you would look from angle A, for example. You shoot out an arrow. What is opposite is where the arrow hits. So opposite over the hypotenuse is always right across from the right angle. So look for the right angle, shoot an arrow across, that's going to be the hypotenuse. Cos of A is going to be adjacent. So the adjacent side is the side that touches the angle, so we're looking from angle A again. It's one side is the adjacent, the other side is the hypotenuse. So we're going to put the length of the adjacent side over the hypotenuse. And the tan of A is the only function that doesn't use the hypotenuse at all. So you are going to put the opposite over the adjacent. Okay, we're going to try a couple of questions like this, see if we can remember. This would have been something we did in Workplace 10 and Workplace 20. So we have an angle, and we need to determine what trig function to use. So we're going to look across. That is the opposite side, and this is the adjacent side. So we know we're going to use the tan function. Tan of 67 is the opposite over the adjacent. Okay, we take your calculator, make sure it's on degrees, and then we take and push tan 67. You will get a long number, rounded off to 4 decimal places. Okay, and then we are to solve, we need to place that decimal over 1 and cross multiply. You get 204.9 equals 2.3559x. Get the x by itself, divide by 2.3559. And x is going to equal 68.9. Calculate angle x. This time we're looking for an angle. We still need to use that angle to determine that this side is adjacent and this side is the hypotenuse, or across from the right angle. Adjacent and hypotenuse is then going to be cos. Cos of x equals adjacent over hypotenuse. Okay, first step is to turn this into 1 decimal, so you divide them to get 0.8539. And now this is where you're going to use your second function key. So you use the second function of cos. That's telling your calculator that this decimal is equal to what angle. It's asking your calculator to figure that out. So the cos, you type in cos, or second function cos, 0.8539. And what will come out in the screen will be 31, which is the degrees. So angle x equals 31 degrees. Unless it's otherwise stated, solve side lengths for the nearest tenth of a unit and angle measurements to the nearest degree. Okay, calculate the hypotenuse in this case. And so from the angle, the side across from it is opposite, and we're looking for the hypotenuse. So we're going to use the sine function. Okay, push into your calculator sine 53, you get 0.7986x equals 40.3 over x. Cross multiply, and you get 0.79686x equals 40.3, sorry. Divide by 0.7986. You always divide by the number that's with the variable to eliminate the numbers, and you have an answer of 50.5 meters. All right, we're going to find the value of x, and we have no angles. So if I have two sides, no angles, we are actually going to use Pythagoras' theorem, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. The most important number to put in is the hypotenuse always goes in for c. So I put that in first. A squared 15.2 we're going to subtract to get the numbers all on one side. X squared equals 85.8. And the last step is to undo the squaring, which is taking the square root. So x equals 9.3 centimeters. All right, I'd like you to practice, build your skills, page 258 to 60. Question 1 and 2, I'd also like you to take question 2 and calculate the lengths of the missing sides using Pythagoras' theorem. It doesn't ask you to do that, but it would be good practice with Pythagoras' theorem to make sure you know how to use that.